What would you expect a community radio station in the small town of Hillsborough, North Carolina to look like? Would the entrance be sandwiched in between the dual supply company hardware store? Would the padlock doors stamped with a creative logo be framed by an American flag and a lawnmower that's for sale? Well, WHUP 104.7 FM is just this. Making its debut in October of 2015, Whoop immediately added an eccentric voice to the small town of Hillsborough. Since then, it has grown into something much more than the nonprofit community station that it started as. Through the doors of Whoop walk a cast of characters that fill the station with unique personality and buzz. Bob Bertman was one of the lead instigators who helped transform Whoop from a dream into a reality. In addition to being perhaps the most important board member, Bob, known as Mr. B behind the mic, is the voice of the 3D news show that airs every weekday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. When Mr. B and his co-host, Miss LaRue, invite local faces into the studio, these guests bring a special spark to Whoop and enhance the community feel of the station. People like Eric Lars Myers, the owner of Mystery Brewing Company, Bill Whitmore, a talented musician, and Chris, a friendly Hillsborough townie, are just a small representation of the wide range of guests that pay visits to Whoop. Meet Carly McCready, the host of Sodal Sounds that airs on Thursday evenings. Carly stays true to the show's motto, badass music made by badass women, by playing tunes made by ladies that she describes as surprising, sharp, beautiful, and maybe even a little dangerous. Skipping a beat to the next show brings us to the Lunch Crunch, hosted by Will Baker, who is also the town of Hillsborough's assistant utilities manager. The show opens with a recap of local happenings and almost always ends with an in-studio rendition of music performed by Hillsborough's wide array of artists. Outside of the studio, Will spends his time greeting friends at the door of Cup of Joe to fixing maintenance issues reported by local Hillsborough residents. When Whoop was just getting started, Will used his professional background to help set up the station's transmitter. Will opened the gates of possibility when he agreed to take the lead on this task. By climbing the water tank located about 7 minutes north of town, Will connected the antenna to the top of this tower, spreading Whoop's frequency for all of Hillsborough to hear. But after locking up his success and finishing this crucial task, Will decided that this would not be the end of his Whoop experience. Instead, he would continue his involvement by hosting one of Whoop's most popular radio shows. Ellen Steinberg is another key contributor to Whoop's development. Referred to as the branding guru, Ellen took it upon herself to design the creative, easily identified Whoop logo. Her prolonged involvement and dedication to Whoop is found through the work that she has created to spread the word about fundraising events and other important opportunities regarding the station. Much of Whoop's success goes back to Bob, the man behind all of the magic. His fast-paced, out-of-the-ordinary way of life speaks to his individuality and spunk. Here's a day in the life of Bob Bertman. One of Bob's main niches is Cup of Joe, conveniently just a few steps away from the radio station. You can almost always find him here in the morning, whether he is chatting with friends outside or bringing a bright smile to just about anyone in the shop's face. When walking through the streets of downtown, it is not uncommon for Bob to know at least one local that he crosses paths with. On this day, this certain someone happened to be the lady that helps tidy and clean the studio. At last, Bob makes his way back to his humble abode that is secluded deep in the woods of northern Hillsborough. Finding his way to the living room, he sits back and relaxes while giving his new pup Hurley some love. As Bob ventures outside to his office, he stops along the way to admire the intricate sculpture his gifted wife created. The thousands of vinyl records that line the walls and the clusters of collectibles just about everywhere in Bob's office make this space his own. Fiercely typing away at his computer, Bob sifts through the piles of paperwork stacked on his desk and attempts to respond to the 100+ emails he receives daily. Being the friendly, free-spirited man that he is, Bob will gladly admit that he isn't the type to turn down a night at the Wooden Nickel. After exchanging a smirk with the bartender and ordering a refreshing beer, Bob mingles around the bar, stopping to chat with people like this woman. The look of admiration on her face is a depiction of the respect and appreciation that those lucky enough to know Bob feel towards him. Bob's ear for music brings him to places like the Hot Tin Roof, where he engages in emotional, animated conversation with a local artist. Bob's spirit is truly contagious. Almost everyone he encounters is immediately enamored by his soul and thirst for life, including myself. Without Bob's fascinating personality, endless behind the scenes work, and all encompassing passion for music and journalism, Whoop radio station would not be what it is today.